Alright, working class beer reviews. It's been a bit, it's cold outside, I got my hood on, but I tested and did a little tester video. I got my earbuds in, so hopefully you should be able to hear me. Sorry if this isn't very flattering, but it is late December, just past the holiday season, and the temperature here in southwest Missouri has been in the 70s, which has been amazing. I've loved it. But it is Sunday afternoon, and the temperature is rapidly dropping. It's supposed to be low in the teens. It's like real windy and everything. And anyway, I've got a fun little beer here. This is Zywiec. I probably should have looked up to see how that's pronounced. This is their porter. Zywiec Porter. I'm gonna actually send this to the company. This company, I saw them on Instagram, because I'm on Instagram. I don't have it for this channel. I probably could if I wanted to. And I saw that they had some cool looking beers. I'd never heard of them, but their brewery itself is out of Poland. And ooh, look at that. So this is an ale. This is an actual porter. I always thought Baltic. This is a Baltic Porter, I think it says. It's brewed in Poland, 500 milliliters. Original recipe at Zywiec Brewery, 9.5% alcohol by volume. Yeah, 500 milliliters, so it's like just a little over a pint. So if this were to recede, I could probably slowly inch my way and fill this to the brim. This is a pint glass, like a bar type. It says original Zywiec Porter with thick, creamy foam. Definitely that. Look at that head. That's awesome. Brewed since 1881. From what I saw, Total Wine had some descriptions of it. It's an all malt ale and hops, all malt and hops. The Zywiec Baltic Porter owes its intense flavor and distinctive taste to 4 types of malt. So, yeah, it's a blend of malts. 6/10/2026. So it's good until summer of next year. 9.5. Yeah, definitely would probably be something you could cellar. It's kind of got that greenish brown bottle that Euro lagers have. No skunkiness, so but man, that smells good. So they were on Instagram, and I asked them if they had a locator tool. They said they didn't, because I tried going to the website and they didn't have anything there. And they just asked me, he's like, what's your zip code? And I told them this is like through DMs, direct messaging. They said, sorry, we don't have a distributor in your area. And I just told them about my YouTube channel, and they said they would send me some beers. And I told them I'd give it a fair review. Obviously I'm very grateful, but I don't want to be biased because of their generosity. Although I don't want to just take advantage of their generosity either. And they sent me this and their regular original lager, which comes in a 300 milliliter, like 11.2 ounce bottle. And I'll do a review of that, and I'm going to send it to both of the reviews to them. But I wanted to share my appreciation for I don't know if it's the company itself or the distributor. I think it's the distributor. It's based out of like Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn, New York. Amtech International of New York Corp. Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, but it said online that it's a Heineken owned brand. So Heineken owns a lot of international beers. There's an embossed saying on it's got a crown. Zywiec Brauer Acrylic some other, I can't pronounce that, so sorry, I'm not well versed in other languages, but it does have on the back as a color, it has 4 drops. I'm guessing it's like liquid drops for color, and then bitterness, it's got 4 hop cones for bitterness. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, get close enough, but on the back of the label it has that. So I'll have to check to see if the original lager, and it's got like a little Sanskrit thing or whatever you want to call that, like an embossed, looks like the brewery maybe in Poland, kind of neat looking. And it does say on the back label here to serve at 48 to 52. It's probably in the 40s right now, and I pulled this out of the fridge just a little bit ago, so it's probably still in the 30s if I had to guess. Not probably as warm as they would recommend it being. 48 is pretty warm when it comes to a beer, so, but dark ales tend to be that way. And if it's well crafted, look at that. So the head did recede, but it is still floating on top. It's retaining still. So what do you get? It's not very bright out here. It's dark. Like a khaki colored head, real tight bubbles. Little bit, if there was sunshine, you get a little bit of red. Usually with these dark ales, you'll get red in there. So let's go for the smell. Yeah, dark roasted malts. Very malty. You can definitely tell that. I'm not getting hoppiness in the aroma. Maybe a little bit. More so the roasted malt. The toasted, roasted, dark roasted malts. Very pleasant aroma. I will say that. I am a fan of these beers. This seems like very, appropriate for colder weather. Yeah, it's like I said, it's supposed to get in the teens tonight. High of like maybe 30, but I bet it's going to be windy tomorrow. And then it'll climb back up into like the 50s by the midweek, I think is what it says, into the new year. So we'll see how it goes. Let's give it a taste. Super rich. Medium to high mouthfeel. I know I don't always describe that. Coffee flavors, coffee notes, dark roasted malts. That ale presence, the mouthfeel, that medium to heavy mouthfeel is definitely of an ale type. It's not like it is sweet, but it's probably got a decent amount. For 9.5 alcohol, it probably does have pretty high IBUs in order to balance it out. Because it seems pretty well balanced. It does not taste boozy. Yeah, so they gave me 2 of these and then 4 of the log, because these are the bigger bottles, and then 4 of the lagers. So, and full disclosure, I actually tried one already and I loved it. And and I'm not saying that as a bias these towards my opinion. This my opinion just hasn't changed from the first time I tried it. And the lager was very good. I will save my words on that until I try that in a review. Man, I'm getting behind. I need, these things don't take very much time. I don't do any editing whatsoever. I just point, shoot, post. And I try to just put stuff in the description for you guys, trying to include website links if I can, or at least copy and paste descriptions from the website is what I like to go with. I don't think it had anything about a website for the company on here, which I'm surprised. You may be able to find a company website, but it could be in Polish. So unless you're from Europe, you're Polish descent and you speak Polish, you wouldn't probably be able to understand it anyway. Yeah, Zywiec, that's the name of the town in Poland. Grupa Zywiec SP, produced by Grupa Zywiec. Zywiec, Poland. So it's the name of the town that's in Poland. 1881's a long time, So, yeah, if you see this, which obviously I cannot find this in my area, that's why it got sent to me, I would say try it. If you're a fan of porters, and I don't know, aside from just the location, I don't know what the difference between a Baltic Porter and like a British Porter, or, Irish, like an Irish Stout would be. But most British porters aren't this strong. Now, craft porters from America will be. They like to pump those things up quite a bit. Your Russian Imperial, stout, this would become, in England, this would be considered a dark stout, or a stout beer. So American craft porters are typically pretty strong. Maybe not 9.5% unless you get into like the bourbon barrel aged stuff. So they really went through a lot of grains to really pump up this number. Yeah, it's good though. That was a weak burp, wasn't it? See if I can get another one to come out here in a bit. I don't know how much time I got. I didn't see on the timer. I don't really have a set time, but I don't like to ramble too much because then it gets to where I'm just waxing philosophically. And it should be about the beer. I'm not an interesting person by any stretch of the imagination. I have life experience just like anybody else. And, I could talk about that. And some people may be able to identify with certain things that I bring up. But, I'm just a normal average Joe that works for a living, lives fairly well paycheck to paycheck. You know, one major catastrophe could just wipe me out and put me on the streets, you know, like a lot of people. But I do appreciate this hobby. I enjoy beer a lot. I enjoy trying all sorts. I'm being open-minded about beers, trying all sorts of different beers. You know, typically I don't know what this would cost. Either this is sold in singles. It's some possible it could be sold in like 4-packs, but I bet in Poland this is probably sold as a single. Label probably no English on the label either. It's American, you know, made label. Like it could be 4-packs, and then the regulars are probably 6-packs. I don't know what other kind of configurations they sell this stuff in. They might do cans on draft in certain places. Maybe they do those like little mini keg, like tabletop kegs with a little plastic spout. Those are kind of cool. I don't see those like I used to. You used to be able to get like Heineken, Miller Lite, Coors Light. I've seen some Oktoberfests from different German breweries in those type of kegs. I've seen Newcastle Brown Ale back in the day before they reformulated it into those little mini kegs. I bought that probably back in like 2015, 2016. I remember that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm very grateful. Like I said, I would never be able to find this otherwise. So it's kind of cool to be able to add stuff to my list that I normally don't have access to. That's always fun. I have a cousin of mine that actually went up towards New York, and he brought back a can of Narragansett for me. So I'm looking forward to covering that. Thank you to Wannabe Critic, Gabe Fast, for that. Check out his channel. If you're into gaming, comics, and stuff like that, check out the Wannabe Critic. He's got, you know, a decent following, and he does podcasts and stuff that I think he's got on all places you can, you know, listen to podcasts like Spotify and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and down this whole thing in front. Let's see if I can get one more good gulp. I had a weak burp that slipped out when I wasn't paying attention. But see, this is a weak one. It's not really worth celebrating. It's not as someone says like effervescent, but I'm not getting a whole lot of carbonation from this. Usually with heavy ales and sometimes even strong lagers, they're not typically heavily carbonated. I mean, there's going to be obvious natural carbonation, but you know, they're not like a light lager where those things are just carbonated like soda. So yeah, sorry guys. I'll try again another time, and I'll see if I can add to the list. But thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you know anything about Zywiec or Zywiec, or if anybody knows how to phonetically pronounce that and you want to type it in the comments, even if the company happens to watch this, they can correct me. I'm more than happy to take correction from people that know. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to have to get back inside. So anyway, thanks for watching this, and I will see you guys later.